So I'm curious about you've got a production company together that those Lobos Entertainment that is going to eventually be film and television as well as books. So how do you transition, or do you have like a 10-year plan, 5-year plan? How you're going to transition from writing to books, or is it always going to be writing books but also doing film and television?
Exactly. So pretty much every single time we'll write a book, we own the intellectual property to that book. So from there, we have entertainment agents and managers and lawyers. They'll go take it out. We'll get a deal somewhere, and then
hopefully being the screenwriters.
And then hopefully be the screenwriters on the get-go. And if not, then it can take longer. Maybe the show gets made, and we'll be in the writer's room. It's just whatever. It's kind of I guess in essence, a bargaining chip for our own careers. Yeah. And every single year, we're able to create a new shiny object for the entertainment industry. So with that, we'll be able to not only work in America, but also in Spain and eventually parlay that into directing. So the goal will be just to continue to write. It's difficult though, because I know we're thinking sometimes of the television show, but at the end of the day, you have to write the novel. The novel has to come first. And sometimes you have to say no to things that you think you might see in this big movie in your head, because it's like you have to service the book. The book is the book, and that's the first thing. I mean, this is something that we wrote and directed. Like, it's done. That's what I love about a book, because when you write a screenplay, you write it, and then people change it, and then maybe it never gets made. And it's like, no, this is made. It's made because it's printed, and that's what's really cool about a book. It's like you're directing a movie for everyone in their head.
Honestly, there's so many changes and setbacks that I know screenwriters face just from the ones I've talked to on this show, that I don't know why they don't all write books first. Like, the book is for sure. It's definitely
exactly
it happens.
Yeah, I know. And I grew up seeing my dad doing that. So it was just it became a really natural pace for us. And now it's been 4 or 5 years for us looking back on that decision to go that direction. And we're like, thank God we did that, because now more than ever, if it's not based on a book or a podcast or a Marvel movie that was already made 20 years ago, it's not getting made.
No. Plus, I feel like even if we don't have, obviously, in entertainment, in Hollywood, they're not going to listen always our opinion on everything. At least this is our opinion. So how much you can change this? Someone can take it and try to change things, but at the end, the book is the book, and these are my 350 pages of opinion.
It's creative protection. And for example, imagine we write this for this kind of thing. Similar kind of thing happened with Dry. We wrote Dry for Paramount as a screenplay. And you write a certain amount, but they can't deviate from your book so much, because they're going to piss off the producers will piss off all the fans. So all the fans really keep producers accountable to the book, which is really nice. And then you don't get bumped off the project per se, as far as the Writers Guild is concerned, because the new writers that come in can only change so much. They can't change all your characters. So technically, it actually is an interesting way. It's insurance to preserve your own involvement in the screenplay process, if you had the luxury of writing the screenplay, because it's based on the material.
Pretty smart, talking about some 3D chess that's happening here.
There's some 4D chess.
Of course, the downside of that, once in a while, it does happen, is a film will make a big deviation. Everyone say, well, we like that better. What was the writer thinking? You should have done that.
Love to have that problem. We'll talk at that point. We'll talk
for our new home.
We'll have to come back in a year or two and talk about how much that sucked for us.
I think it was your dad told me that even if they make a bad movie, the marketing for the book alone is well worth it. Great, make a bad film.
Exactly right. Yeah, right. Yeah. Even that's a good point. Yeah, even if the movie doesn't really go anywhere or do that well,
no, it's marketing.
It's marketing. Yeah. That's the interesting thing about also owning the book as well, right? Because then you have an insurance policy even on the book end, so it's like you win in multiple directions. And there's also so many things like international sales or audio rights. It really is, somebody brought it up to me. I forgot who it was. A friend brought it up to me and was like, this is like you built a house. It's an asset. A book gives you ways to create money in all these different ways, which is something that I always thought was so interesting about an intellectual property. You can rent it, you can sell it, you can rent out certain properties about it. So yeah, we always thought that was interesting.
I remember when the Battlefield Earth movie came out. It was so terrible. Like, there's no way the book is that bad, and it wasn't. It was a great book. And if that movie hadn't been so bad, I never probably would have made time to read it.